Mazik, faculty and staff, distinguished guests, undistinguished guests, friends who were dragged out here, and finally, my fellow classmates. My name is Vaneck Kounga, and I am humbled by the task of delivering a farewell address to the class, mindful of all the emotions we are currently experiencing, grateful for the opportunity I received these last 4 years, and I would like to thank you all for joining me this evening, as we are just one more day from holding that diploma which seems to have cunningly eluded us for so long. The last time the class of 2016 and their parents were together in one place was in May of 2012 during the freshman orientation. Back then, the world we were living in, as well as the school we will soon be leaving, were both so very different. In 2012, the country was looking for a new path in the presidential election, while we were looking for a new path to our classes and detention. In 2012, it was unthinkable for McDonald's to start serving breakfast after 11 o'clock at night. Before the Mayweather-Pacquiao brawl, we had our own epic simulated battle in our very quad. And in 2012, we were the last class that Mr. Jordan admitted into Archmere as admissions director. Besides us, others will continue to leave Archmere, such as Mrs. Munford, Ms. Gail Foth, Senora Russo, Miss Yang, Senorita Saavedra, Ms. Gerber, Mr. Levine, Mrs. Waldman, and Mr. Guskov. As we are beginning the new phases of our lives, we thank you for your service to us and with us, and we hope that Archmere never leaves you. I was having a lot of trouble writing the speech, and like anything, I asked my classmates for some help. Half of them didn't answer me, and the other half told me to Google it, so I think that itself effortlessly characterizes our grade. But sitting in these seats would not be possible if it were not for you, our parents. Everyone in this audience has made sacrifices for us to be here, and we, your children, are forever in your debt for giving us the privilege to attend Archmere Academy. You were with us and were often the scapegoat when it came to friends, academics, and the many other pressures we fall victim to during the high school years. Now, you didn't hold our hand every step of the way, and you allowed us to fail more than once. But you did hold us accountable for our mistakes, and you made sure that through those mistakes, we had the opportunity to pick ourselves back up and try again. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt once said that this country demands bold, persistent experimentation. It is common sense to take a method and try it, and if it fails, admit it frankly and try another. But above all, try something. And if I could summarize the school year in a short phrase, besides senioritis, it would be to try something new. The ability for you teachers to have dealt with us for so long, for multiple years, is impressive alone. Like our parents, you never made it easy for us. We're never easy on the homework, projects, the tests, the reading quizzes, all the above. It's a shame it's taken me until now to really appreciate the work that you've done for us. I said this year was about trying something new because the dynamic in the classroom was so much different in the past. Everything that we've done has led up to this year. It was no longer about memorization and trying to remember what he or she said or did, but more so about the whys and the hows. In math class, Mr. Pisani frequently asks us why we take derivatives. And then we'll answer him. He'll pace back and forth the classroom, play with his reading room, and then he'll say, but why? Then after, he'll put something on the screen and tell us to try something new until we're able to figure it out. As well as in my case, French with Madame Thiel, the very first day of class, she asked us what our goals were. Clearly, I wanted a 5 on the AP exam. And although that would be great, she said that a greater understanding of the Francophone language and culture would be a lot better. Whether it was studying about les films de la nouvelle vague or les manifestations de mai 68. We study about the Ataya, an African tea ceremony where participants are served multiple courses of tea while having casual conversations with one another. We got the chance to practice this in class while having casual conversations about environmental problems and policies in France, all in French, of course. And on November 13th, 2015, Paris was attacked by extreme terrorists, and the very next day in class, I'm sure Madame had something planned out, where we talked about the events leading up to those attacks and how France and the rest of the world will move forward from those attacks. We might not be able to answer these questions now. However, I know that with a collective effort, by trying something new, we'll be able to answer these questions in the future. I've even come to appreciate English class. Freshman and sophomore year, Mrs. Wolf and Mr. Deakins will tell you I did not like their class at all. I never thought of spending much time on English just because I thought I was already decent at it. I thought. But looking back, it wasn't about the 8th word of Lincoln's second inaugural, or more so about expressing the different ways of life as depicted in Things Fall Apart, the problems that have plagued mankind since Hamlet, Trifles, Hills Like White Elephants, Mad Forest, Slaughterhouse-Five. Not so much about what was being said, but the way it was being said, which was so much more important. I'd also like to take this time to give a shout out to our student council moderator, Mr. Donnelly. After 4 years, you really gave us this chance to make this final year our own and do whatever we wanted to an extent. And making sure that we capitalize on this final year. But to you, to all the teachers, to the club moderators, to our friends, thank you. Thank you for taking a skinny kid with a funny name from Poggibonsi, Italy, and enlightening him with all the opportunities I have before me now. And I am positive that the feeling is mutual for my classmates. And as for my classmates, you are what makes Archmere Academy what it is. Pietate and scientia, faith and knowledge. It's a bit ironic, but we've never been to school to follow the norm. It's a place where the football captains, as intimidating as they may look, are some of the softest, nicest guys in our grade. Where breaking your leg 2 years in a row in the same sport can be interpreted as, let me give it another shot next year. Where 5.0 students from APs from first bell to last bell and baseball commits can be nationally recognized artists, where intelligent young women can have a dying passion for SpongeBob SquarePants and Star Wars, where master singers and writers for the Green Arch can all display their talents, where the valedictorian can be a 3-sport varsity athlete and many other intelligent students be state champions, where the player of the year, where a U.S. presidential scholar can all come from the small house we call Archmere. And whether you're from Maine or Texas, you can always come back to this place and call it home. Maybe this is my place. While looking at this audience, and these students especially, I'm sure that one of us will come back and follow tradition and become a teacher, possibly principal or headmaster, because this is a place where you can meet a special group of people, or that special someone, who in the words of Troy Bolton can make you realize we are all in this together. I'm looking at an audience of so many special people, unique and rare, who will soon embark on their own spectacular journeys. Although this is not a time for goodbye or a time for tears, this is an opportunity to embrace the past. And as I think of one day in the past particular, I think of sophomore year. I'm arriving on campus and I see Alex Schultz coming in as well. He gives me that goofy laugh and then after says, "Why are you smiling?" Good morning to you too. I thought about that a lot longer than I should have that day, and I've been thinking about it up until writing the speech, and I ultimately ended up with the answer, I guess that's just the way we are here at Archmere. Just the way we are here. We may go on different paths in life, encounter different people, end up wearing different uniforms, travel as high as Syracuse, New York, as low as Jupiter, Florida, or as far out into Boulder, Colorado. We'll become waves, dragons, wildcats, terps, cougars, phoenixes, owls, hens, blue hens, mountain hawks, all different types of birds for Dr. Christie. But when you strip that down, we are first and foremost Archmere Academy Hawks. That title doesn't just represent whether or not you could afford the tuition, the education you fortunately got, that we were given laptops, or that we could have sage dining for lunch each and every day. But it describes who we are and what we believe. It elucidates that enduring idea that we have, and the world only works when we accept certain obligations to one another, to future generations. It's the reason why the first words out of Mr. Jordan at any open house are, What can you do to leave this place better than you found it? We didn't always have a ping pong table after school for students waiting on rides. We didn't always have the Be Positive and dodgeball tournaments for childhood diabetes and cancer, respectively. All the class gifts, the student-led assemblies, and Archmere wasn't always a co-ed school. These are all examples of leaving Archmere better than you found it, all examples of accepting certain obligations for future generations. Speaking of the milestone we've reached in coeducation, it was all started, I believe, with Mrs. Marcy Aiken. Although she retired the year before our class arrived, I can tell she was an incredible woman because she came up with what has to be my favorite saying here at Archmere. It's the one that Mr. Johnson has kept alive and the appropriate sign-off to every video announcement shown here at Archmere. Go make it a great day. To be an AUK, to hold that fundamental belief that you shouldn't just go out and have a great day, but you should go out and make it a great day. My final message is not to anyone in this audience, but to whoever these graduates meet in life, especially those friends you'll meet in college. I hope that any of the 105 of them bring you as much happiness and make your days together just as great as they've made mine for the last 4 years. Now, this may sound very easy, and there will be times where you do not want to go on. Times where life gets hard, times where life hits you from two fronts, and life's gonna make you want to return home, life's gonna make you want to lie in mom and dad's arms, life's gonna make you want to go back to simpler times, life's gonna make you want to repeat high school. Life just will not be easy. However, now so more than ever, I think I speak on behalf of every single senior in this audience when I say that when life hits us, we're almost found with that timeless creed that sums up the class of 2016. Life, bring it on. Thank you. God bless you.